In the history of American crime, few names strike more fear, fascination, and horror than Ted Bundy. On the surface, he looked like the perfect man, intelligent, handsome, polite, even charming. But behind the mask of innocence, hid one of the most ruthless serial killers the world has ever seen. Bundy's story is one of deception, manipulation, and unimaginable violence. From the early 1970s to the mid-1970s, Ted Bundy preyed on young women, leaving behind a trail of death, broken families, and unanswered questions. By the time he was caught, he confessed to killing more than 30 women across multiple states, though the real number may be far higher. Theodore Robert Bundy was born on November 24, 1946, in Burlington, Vermont. His early childhood was troubled. He grew up believing his grandparents were his parents, and that his mother was his sister. Despite this confusion, Bundy grew into a seemingly normal boy. He was intelligent, well-spoken, and popular in school. Teachers and friends described him as shy but polite. Nobody could imagine that this quiet boy would later become a monster. Bundy attended the University of Washington, where he studied psychology. He dated women, joined political campaigns, and impressed people with his intelligence. Outwardly, he was the ideal young man, but underneath, something dark was brewing. Bundy began stalking women, studying their habits, and perfecting his ability to lure them. He learned how to act innocent, how to fake injuries, and how to gain trust. His favorite trick, pretending to have a broken arm or leg. He would wear a cast and ask women for help carrying books or loading his car. Once they were close enough, his true evil would emerge. Between 1974 and 1978, Bundy's killing spree shocked America. His victims were almost always young, attractive women with long hair parted in the middle. He targeted college campuses, libraries, and parking lots. In January 1974, Bundy attacked a woman named Karen Sparks in her apartment. She survived, but the assault left her permanently injured. Just a month later, Bundy kidnapped and murdered Linda and Healy, a college student in Washington. Over the next months, women began disappearing one after another. Police were baffled. Witnesses described a handsome man, with a cast or crutches, driving a Volkswagen Beetle. But nobody believed that the charming, law student Ted Bundy could be a suspect. Bundy's murders spread across multiple states: Washington, Oregon, Utah, Colorado, and Florida. He was cunning, changing locations frequently to avoid suspicion. In Utah, he was finally arrested in 1975 for suspicion of kidnapping a young woman. When police searched his car, they found handcuffs, rope, and masks, tools of a predator. Bundy escaped once, but police caught him again. In 1977, Bundy escaped from jail not once, but twice. First, he jumped out of a courthouse window in Colorado. Later, he broke out of jail by cutting a hole in the ceiling of his cell. After his second escape, Bundy traveled to Florida, where he committed some of his most brutal murders. In January 1978, he attacked the Chi Omega sorority house at Florida State University. In a single night, he murdered 2 women and injured several others. Weeks later, he kidnapped and killed a 12-year-old girl named Kimberly Leach. Bundy's trial became one of America's first media spectacles. Cameras filled the courtroom as the nation watched in shock. Bundy represented himself in court, smiling, flirting with reporters, and even proposing to a woman during the trial. Despite his charm, the evidence was overwhelming. In 1979, Bundy was convicted of murder and sentenced to death. On January 24, 1989, after years of appeals, Ted Bundy was executed in the electric chair at Florida State Prison. Outside the prison, crowds cheered. Some held signs that read, "Burn Bundy, burn." Even as he faced death, Bundy never revealed the full truth. He admitted to over 30 murders, but investigators believe the real number could be over 100. To this day, we may never know the full scale of his crimes. Ted Bundy remains a chilling symbol of evil hiding behind a mask of charm. He showed the world that monsters do not always look like monsters. Sometimes, they look like the boy next door, the one you would never suspect. His story has inspired countless books, movies, and documentaries. But behind the headlines are the victims, young women whose lives were stolen, whose families were left in pain. They are the ones who must never be forgotten. If this story shocked you and made you think, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel for more true crime stories. Comment below your thoughts on Ted Bundy's terrifying double life.